that I apply on the basketball court, and I apply them each and every day in business. It's not whether you can become successful, it's how many people can you help become successful. You don't dream, you can't become it.
Need a World Series ring.
Magic Johnson has been named President of Basketball Operations.
We've got breaking news. LeBron is a Laker.
Magic was the guy who dribbled the ball and did his thing, but Irvin Johnson is the guy who's making the impact and really leaving the legacy.
Hello, hello, hello. All right, let me go on this side first, all right? All right, let me turn to this side now. Let me go down this way now. Right in the center. This side. All right. All right. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. I'm happy to be here. Oh, yes. Okay, got it. Okay. Thank you. Love you back. I'm happy to be here, and when I think about the theme of New Skin, and I think about take action, that's what I try to be about my whole life. And okay, I'm waving back at you. There you go. Okay. And so, for me, take action is about driving a solution, right? So, even when I was a basketball player, I had won all the championships up until high school. And I went to a high school that wasn't known for basketball. So I had to take action to teach all the guys a winning mindset and a winning attitude. So 2 years later, when I was a senior, I led that high school to a state championship, first time in school history. Then I think about 40 years ago, right here in this city, Salt Lake City, I played for the national championship game. And I played this blonde-haired guy. I don't know, maybe somebody remember his name. I'm gonna say 1, 2, 3, everybody holler out his name. 1, 2, 3, what's his name? Larry Bird, that's right. Indiana State, Michigan State. We played right here in this city, not too far from here, at the University of Utah. And we ended up beating Larry Bird and Indiana State when they all said, no way. At 6'9", at my height, I could play point guard in college basketball. And not only did I prove them wrong, but also we won the national championship. Then I got drafted by the Los Angeles Lakers. They hadn't won a championship over 10 years. Well, in the next 9 years out of 12, we went to the NBA Finals and we won 5 NBA championships. Thank you. So when you think about, for me, always being the leader of my team, always being the CEO of my team, I had to come up with solutions for us to be successful in the NBA. Then when I turned it over to business, it's been the same thing. Making sure that if there's a problem, I come up with the solution so we can be successful at Magic Johnson Enterprises. And the first thing I did was, there was products and services missing in the minority community. And with the spending power of minorities, over $3 trillion spending power between African Americans and Latinos, I said, you know what? We like to go to movies. Let me do a deal with Sony to drive a movie theater going experience for minorities. Sure enough, those theaters came in the top 10 highest grossing theaters in the nation, in the United States. And we were so successful that I went up to Howard Schultz, Seattle, and Starbucks, and I said, Howard, the growth of your business would have to be through urban America. So I took it upon myself to fly up to Seattle, take a meeting with Howard Schultz, make sure he understood that he could make a lot of money in urban America, and sure enough, we struck a deal. So sometimes you gotta think outside the box. That's taking action. Then you have to execute on your strategy. That's taking action. Then you have to hire the right people to work with you in your company, in your business. That's also taking action. So I did a deal with Starbucks, and it's been an amazing deal. We built 125 Starbucks in urban America. And what I'm really proud of is the fact that my per caps, $4.59 a customer, his per caps in suburban America was $4.51. So my stores was outpacing his stores. And that made this whole experience in terms of Starbucks trusting me with their brand and with their company. Because we were successful, that made me a legitimate businessman, showing everybody that you can make money in urban America. So sometimes taking action can also pave the way not only for yourself, but for other people to follow. So then, as a basketball player, Dr. Buss allowed me to also own the Lakers. And that was a great experience for myself to make sure that Kobe Bryant, Shaq, all those players were successful. And LeBron James, yes, I know that. And so being an owner of the Lakers was a dream come true for me. The team that I played for, but also I was able to tweak the business working side by side with Dr. Jerry Buss. And that was an amazing experience for me as well. And then, who would have ever thought a basketball player like myself would become a baseball owner in Major League Baseball and owner of the Los Angeles Dodgers? And I shouldn't be talking about that right now. We just lost 2 nights ago, which I'm still upset about. But the business side of the Dodgers is doing great, though. And so I'm really happy about how we've been performing in terms of the business side. Also the baseball side, we've been in the playoff since we've owned the team. 6 straight years we've been in the playoff, but we keep coming up short. So hopefully next season will be my season and our season that we can win the World Series. But I want to tell you about something that happened that changed our revenue stream. And this is very important, that you take action sometime. And sometimes that action may not be the action that your partners may like in the beginning. When we bought the Dodgers, the fans said, Urban, the parking prices are too high. So the first day, we lowered the parking prices. And at that time, we were middle of the pack in attendance. Since we've owned the team 6 straight years, We've been #1 in attendance, over 44,000 fans a night. Why? Because we lowered the parking prices, we listened to our customer, and then we over-delivered to our customer. So if anything that I can tell you, when you're talking about taking action, sometimes you gotta listen to your customer, and then you gotta take action, and then it will come back to you when you over-deliver to your customer. Yeah, thank you for that. We also invested in our stadium. We had to change the fan experience. We put a couple $100 million into the stadium, made the stadium better, and the fans rewarded us once again. Again, taking action, coming up with a solution, and then it will come back to you over and over again. Yes, yes, go ahead. All right. And then when I think about this country of ours, jobs won't have to be through infrastructure, and that's why I got into the infrastructure business, to not only create jobs for people because we need jobs here in this country, but also to knowing that this is going to be a great, when I think about revenue streams, you think about success. I knew that my new company would be very successful because the infrastructure in our country is so old, but not just this country, but in a lot of countries, the infrastructure is old. So that's why I've been able to get into the infrastructure space. And we've already won 3 contracts, which was great. We've already created jobs in Denver because we won the Denver airport, JFK in New York, as well as LaGuardia in New York. So sometimes taking action also improves the lives of other people when you create jobs. And again, that was a problem here in this country. So we're coming up with a solution. And that's what I'm really proud of right now, is our infrastructure company and how we are making sure that hardworking people can take care of their families. And we should clap for that because that's really what it's all about. One more time, I can't hear you. One more time. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna let her come and ask me some questions a little earlier than we wanted to because it's gonna be fun. I see we got a lot of people from around the world, and that's great. If you're from Japan, stand up. All right, there you go. If you're from China, stand up. If you're from the Philippines, stand up. Okay, anybody from Hong Kong?
Korea!
Korea, stand up. Now, you're going to have to do me a favor real quick because my bosses, these are all my bosses right here, you know. And so I got to look good in front of this front row because they really the bosses, right? Now, we'll do it right after the questions. How about that? We'll do it after the questions.
No, you go, you go.
We're going to do it after. And you look beautiful, too.
Thank you, thank you. So, can I call you Magic?
Yes, you may.
Okay. I had all my guy friends saying, ask him this, ask him this, ask him this, ask him this. Here's what I want to ask you.
Okay.
How do you get an invite to that awesome birthday party, private yacht cruise that you...
Well...
I hear you just celebrated a birthday.
Yes, I did. This year right now, my wife and I both turned 60. And so, yeah. Thank you. And so, my best friend, my partner in crime. We've been together since we were 18 years old. And so I rented a yacht, took her to Europe. We sailed for 5 weeks and had a good time.
I love it. I love it. I just heard that was the invitation of a lifetime.
See, this front row crew, they taught me how to do it, see?
Right.
Yeah, the founders, their wives said, Irvin, this is what you need to do. So that's what I did. So thank you guys. Look at the son right there. He's saying, yeah, magic, yeah. All right.
Okay, so you mentioned Dr. Buss, that he was a great mentor to you.
Yeah.
And just tell me a little bit about what it means to have a mentor who believes in you, who believes in your success, and why you need to have a mentor like that.
Well, listen, I am so blessed to understand how to reinvent myself. So the first thing I wanted to do was become a successful basketball player in the NBA. And God blessed me with an opportunity to do that. Then I said, I've always wanted to be a businessman as well. But I didn't know business. So I said, I gotta get some mentors to help me become a successful businessman. So I'm working for a great businessman in Dr. Jerry Buss. So I went up to him and said, listen, Dr. Buss, would you mind becoming my mentor? Because after I'm done playing, I want to become a businessman. And so he said yes. And what he did was really remarkable. I didn't think he was going to go this far. He actually opened up the Laker books to me and showed me how the Lakers made money. And I was like blown away that he would go that far, teaching me the Laker business, but also teaching me business overall. And then he said something very profound to me. He said, Irvin, do you think you're the best basketball player? I said, yes. He said, then you got to get the best accountant, best money manager, best lawyer. I met a couple of those people out here earlier today. The best of the best, you got to get and put them on your team. Wealth manager, on and on and on. And I decided to do that. And that also changed my life. And then the last thing that changed my life, speaking of Dr. Jerry Buss, one day I walked into his office and said, Dr. Buss, can you give me the season ticket holders' phone numbers that sit in the front row at the Laker games? He said, what you want the numbers for? I said, I want to cold call all a couple hundred of them and ask them to go to lunch with me. And so he gave me the phone numbers. I cold called all these presidents, CEOs, vice presidents of companies, and I called about 100, 150 of them. How many of them do you think said yes?
All of them?
How many do you think said yes? You're right, all of them said yes.
Oh.
And thank God they had corporate cars that I didn't have to pay for every 150 of them going to lunch. They said, no, Magic, you can't pay. I want to tell all my friends I paid lunch for you. I said, okay, I'll take that. So out of that 150 of them, 10 of them became my mentors. And right now today, 2 of those guys, one guy, I own 6 businesses with him today. He was actually the CEO at that time, chairman of Sony, Peter Gruber. He owns the Golden State Warriors, and we own the soccer team, LAFC. Actually, we had the best record in MLS this past season. We own the Dodgers together. We own a esports team called Team Liquid. Anybody know about esports? Yeah. So we own, matter of fact, that team is so successful right now. And so we own other businesses together. So let me tell you something, all of you out here. Make sure you get mentors, because it can come back to you, help you understand business, help you grow your business, help you to have sustainability, because that's what we're looking for. How do we sustain our company, but also how do you grow your brand and the bottom line all at the same time?
I love that. I love that. And something that came to mind while we're talking about your mentors and the calls out to all the season ticket holders.
Yep.
something that strikes me about everything I've read about you and the way you conduct yourself, the way you conduct business, is you're always thinking about that other person first, taking things from their perspective, so you always make that connection. I think you're kind of known for being open and friendly in that connection you make with people.
Well, thank you. Again, it's a blessing for my parents. And I want to win, but I also want my partners to win. And in the beginning, I said, instead of, hey, if the deal did okay, I would say, hey, let's make sure my partner won, because I know I can keep coming back to that partner, right? And I want to bring a smile to that partner's face, just like I want to smile. And then the last person I want to make sure we put a smile on their face is the community, is our customers. Because that's very important that we bring a smile to our customers' face, and then we'll get the retention that we're all looking for, right? So if you do a great job with your customers, they become your brand ambassadors. And so that's very important that we over-deliver to that customer, because they'll go out and market your business for you. And so I want to make sure I bring a smile to my partner's face, the customer's face, and then I smile at the end.
I love it. I love it. And
oh, thank you. Yes.
And everything you've done philanthropically, like with Urban America, and you've always given back. What's your philosophy on giving back? New Skin is a great partner in that, because of the Force for Good Foundation and Nourish the Children.
Yes.
What's your philosophy on that, and why do you think everyone should be involved in philanthropic efforts?
Well, giving back is so important. I want the founders to stand up right now, because New Skin has probably done it better than any company that I know. Stand on up, founders, giving back. Yeah, let's give them a hand. Give them a hand. Listen, your legacy will never be tied to how much money you make. Your legacy gonna be tied to how many lives you change, how many lives you enhance. That's what it's all about. So that's why I love to give back, because the founders can look and say, it's 18,000 people in this room, right? They can all look and say, man, look how many people's lives we touched. Look how many people's lives we've changed. And that's what it's all about. And for me, I love giving back. That's why we have scholarships for kids. We got Cookie and I, my wife, we got 125 kids on scholarship right now, colleges all over the country. We build technology centers in the poorest areas where kids can have access to technology so they can do their homework. That's very important. We have job fairs, health fairs. So I love giving back, touching people's lives, enhancing people's lives. Now, the story I want to tell you, which is really great for me right now. This young man was homeless, living in a car with his mom. We found him in Chicago. He just so happened to come to an appearance I was speaking at, and they told me about him. We got him back into high school. He got his high school diploma. Now, this year, he's a senior, getting ready to graduate college. And we've been able to change his life, turn his life around, and that's what it's all about right there. That's what it's all about. So we want to bless other people.
That's awesome. One other thing that I've read that you have said is you win, you lose, that's just going to happen in life.
Right.
But unacceptable is quitting.
Yeah. No, you can never quit. No matter what the circumstances is, you can never quit. It's going to be hard, just like for all of us. The marketplace sometimes don't change, or the customer may change. The millennial customer is a different customer, so we need to understand what they love and how we can reach out to them, right? But the one thing we can never do, no matter how hard it gets, we can never quit, right? I'd rather go down fighting and trying to do everything I can to make my business successful, to make sure that that company that I've invested in, that, listen, we took every situation to try to win and become successful. And then at the end, if we can't make it, okay, we just said, okay, maybe this one we couldn't win at, but we're going to try another one. Now, the first thing that I tried as a businessman didn't work, but I sure didn't give up. And I'm glad I didn't, because here I am today, 18, 20,000 people. These great founders allowed me to come speak to all of you. I've become successful because I'm a competitor. I love to compete. My wife get mad at me all the time. All the mothers, they understand this. So my wife tell me play my daughter one-on-one. My daughter was a point guard. I didn't want to play my daughter one-on-one because I know who I am. Right? I know who I am. So my wife said, play her. So when your wife tell you do something twice, you better get to it, right?
Good, smart
So
man.
I went on and played my daughter one-on-one. We go to 10. I let her get to 9. That was hard for me to do, everybody. But I let her get to 9. And then I had to crush her. I had to beat her. Right? Because I hate to lose. I love to win. So I'm a winner. I'm competitive. So I don't have any quit.